Hello YouTubers, Joshua724 here. In some past videos, I've shown you what it's like to try and make some mods work together in a server environment. I'm sure it was a rather boring video, but that's how difficult it can be to run a Minecraft server. Well, before we have a chance to go somewhere with our current video series, while trying to upgrade our server, I ran into a problem. This is what our world looks like in 1.6.4. I've done some tweaking after posting that video about power converter mods to try and make some of the machines in our world work more efficiently. However, because the mod makers of certain mods only started their mods at version 1.6, obviously they would have a lot of bugs to work out. Not a big deal, but it means not a big deal, but not a big deal. It just means we may need to think about doing an update sooner or later. This is what our world looks like in 1.6.4. I've done some tweaking after posting a video about power converter mods to try and make some machines in our world work more efficiently. However, because those mods... This is what our world looks like in 1.6.4. I've done some tweaking since that past video about... This is what our world looks like in 1.6.4. I've done some tweaking after posting that video about power converters to try and make some of the machines in our world work more efficiently. However, because the mod makers of certain mods only started their mods at version 1.6, obviously they would have a lot of bugs to work out. Not a big deal. It just means we may need to think about doing an update sooner than later. The thing is, next update is 1.7. According to Mojang, 1.7 is the update that changed the world. So, as an experiment, I loaded our world into a Forge 1.7.10 environment. This is loading the previous world into Minecraft 1.7.10, but without having any of the mods loaded. Now, as you can see, it seems to be pretty normal. Where you see where I had some solar panels over there, you can see some black squares where the solar panels were. And there are some black squares here for where the Buildcraft stuff was. But overall, it looks pretty stable. Here is how our server would look if I loaded the world as is, all the mods for 1.7.10 as is, and just started it. Now, you'll notice there are these spots of what appears to be sand. However, like that, it looks like it's some gushing oil well. Now, if I step into the sand, suddenly I'm sinking, but I'm not sure if I'm sinking like I would if this was a quicksand mod. But this supposed sand is acting more like water. What's even more interesting is that we have a creeper here. Well, here it is underneath. A whole lot of weird stuff is going on. So I can get back out again. Having a lag problem for some reason. You can tell where all the minerals are. If I come right out here, I'm in the quarry. And there is some translucency to this. But bottom line, we're looking at an entirely messed up world here. Now, as for what kind of stuff this is, considering the fact that there is stone right there, and this would, in my opinion, you'd figure that it would be stone or dirt or something. So, I don't know what's going on. But bottom line, trying to convert from 1.6.4 to 1.7.10 is not going to be that easy. On the flip side, I decided to try an experiment. This is what our world at this particular location looks like in 1.6. This is our world regenerated with the 1.7.10 world generator. Now, there are some spots here that, well, anyone who's like seen glimpses of the first house that Dragon built will know that there was a, well, she called it a sort of beachside resort, and it was like only a small amount of sand there for her to like build her beach house with. And I think right about there would be where my first house was. Now, of course, all of it is covered in sand. Let's see. I think I see glimpses of where the various spots would have been. Over here, I believe, would have been the quarry, and I built some solar panels. But bottom line, this is the world as it is now, and it is no longer a green field. Well, it was sand there and green over here, but it's no longer that. So I guess that means I'll be out trying to find a new grassy location for continuing our series. We haven't decided yet whether we want to just spawn new stuff and sort of like cheat a little in that we'll have had collected the stuff and we're just moving to a new location, or what. But at this point, we're obviously not going to be able to do things the same way we had done it for 6.4, and well, it's more like we have to now drastically change things from 1.6.4 to 1.7.10 now that we see what happens if we try to regenerate a 1.6.4 world.